Okay, in this video we're going to take a look at 3 excerpts from Bach's Partita number 3, which happen to make excellent guitar picking exercises. So let's check it out. Bach's Partita number 3 is an awesome piece, fairly lengthy, completely 16th notes once you get past the intro. It's a workout no matter what you do, but what I thought in this video was to extract maybe 2 or 3 different parts that for me ended up being the most productive in terms of picking exercises. So what that is, if you break it down, we're in the key of E, the time signature is 3/4 time. The first part is what is often considered a pedal tone lick or idea. And a pedal tone is simply a motif or an idea that has one note that continues to recur every time another note comes in. So you'll hear a note, then you'll hear a pedal tone, then you'll hear a different note, then the pedal tone comes back. And the pedal tone is usually always the same note. So if I slow this down, you can clearly hear that one note continues to come back every single time in between the other notes. So the way I like to show people how to play this is I like to show them the moving part first. The part that moves around is this. That's 5th string. I'm on the 7th fret with my middle finger. I'm going to do 7th fret E, 9th fret F sharp. 4th string, we're going to do 6th fret G sharp. We're going to do A at the 7th fret, back to the G sharp. Okay, now we're going to return back to the 5th string. We're going to do F sharp again with the pinky, 9th fret, and we're going to do 7th fret E again. Again, straight up 4 notes. And back down, just like that. That's actually the first thing I would work on to get this under control. Once you got that, all you have to do is realize that you need to place this note, the 9th fret on the 4th string, which for me is always the pinky, in between every note that you played in that first section. So in between each of these notes, you're going to place that 9th fret note on the 4th string B with your pinky in between each of them. It'll sound like this. So what that ends up being finger-wise for me is index, pinky, even though we're only a whole step apart, and maybe the ring finger seems like the best option there, I use my pinky, then ring finger pinky, then index pinky, because now my index finger is over here at the 6th fret, middle pinky, index pinky, ring pinky again, and then I'm back to the 1st finger. And I think you'll find that that will make it a lot easier to maintain the precision and cleanness in executing that part. Now, in terms of the string crosses, you're going to get exclusively outside string crosses here, where the lowest of the 2 strings pitch-wise is a down, and the highest note pitch-wise that you're dealing with is an up every time. So it's like your pick hits the outer edge of those 2 strings, and this is super common. Some people have a hell of a time with it. This is a great exercise to kind of get used to that and maybe even improve it if you practice it diligently enough. Okay, now at that point, I did mention that that last note we played is actually the first note of the next part. So when we do the next part, we're going to end up with that. We're going to have the 1st finger again, 7th fret, 5th string. I'm then going to do 3 notes on the 3rd string, 9, 8, 6, which is going to give you E, D sharp, C sharp, and we're going to land on B, 9th fret on the 4th string again, this time with your pinky. Now, I just talked about rolling being a bit of a pain in the butt. Well, we're going to roll. It simply is the easiest and most efficient way to play this part. So what I'm going to do is go 7 on the 5th, 9, 8, 6 on the 3rd, 9 on the 4th, but then we're going to repeat the previous 4 notes. So I'm going to use my pinky to roll, literally rolling downward, which allows me to fret the 3rd string cleanly. And if I do it right, it also allows me to maintain just enough contact on the 4th string to keep it quiet. Because the last thing you want is this. We don't want the 2 notes to ring together in this case. Roll, roll, and then we're going to come down the last 4 notes, which will be 4th string, 9, 7, 6, or B, A, G sharp, and 9th fret on the 5th for F sharp. And that completes the first example here from Partita number 3. Here it is all together. Okay, a little quicker. The next example in Partita number 3 comes a little later on in the piece, and this one is actually only a 2-bar figure that covers both inside and outside string picking. The first part is almost exclusively inside picking, whereas the second bar is almost exclusively outside picking. And if you can get both of those accomplished in only 2 bars, you got something going on. So here's how this goes slow. That's bar 1. There's bar 2. Here they are together. So bar 1, we're going to start on the 6th fret, 4th string G sharp. And the next string is the 3rd string, and we're going to do 7, 9, 7. Now this first 4-note figure establishes the outside picking paradigm here, where we have down on the low string, up on the highest string, in this case the 3rd string. So down, up, right there, that's outside picking. Now we do encounter a little inside picking here. Okay. 2nd string, 9th fret, G sharp, to 7th fret, 3rd string, D. Then we're going to skip over to the 1st string, 7th fret, with a downstroke, back to the 3rd string, 7th fret with an up, and that's inside picking with a string skip. So we have outside here, and then inside, inside, and then we're going to repeat the previous inside. In other words, 9 on the 2nd string to 7 on the 3rd. And then finally, we're going to play 2 notes on the 3rd string, 9 and 7, or E down to D. So the first beat is that. There's the second beat, next 4 notes. And then we're going to repeat that part again. So cool. Now for the second bar, you're going to find a little bit of the opposite. You're going to find more outside picking going on here. So once again, we have 6th fret on the 4th string with a down, 7, 9, 7 on the 3rd, and there's an outside string cross. And now, exclusively outside picking for this part. So 6 on the 4th, 7, 9, 7 on the 3rd, 6 back to 7, cross strings 4 to 3, and again outside, But then we start skipping a string the other way. Now we're going to hit the 5th string, 9th fret, F sharp, with the down. Skip a string to the 3rd string, 7. And then, lastly, we're going to hit the 7th fret on the 5th string. I'm using my index finger. You notice I'm at the 7th fret for both of these notes. And this just makes the most sense to use 2 different fingers here, because if you use the same finger, you're going to have to roll, and you're going to have to roll with the string skip, which is just, you're just asking for trouble there. So now you can easily put these together and start looping it. The third example of Partita number 3 that I have lined up for you is, I would say, probably one of the most challenging in terms of string skipping and string crossing in general. And I gotta say, even the left-hand part is not a walk in the park either. So what I'm going to do here is adjust the camera a tiny bit so we can see down to the 5th fret area. Here it is. I'm going to play the part slowly. Now, I could do an entire video lesson on this because of how complex things are in terms of fingering and note choice and all that kind of thing, but I'm gonna try to zip through it. 5 on the 6th string. Now, keep in mind too, at this point, you may have noticed I have a 7-string guitar. I'm not playing anything on the 7th string for this particular piece, so when you see a string above what I'm fretting, don't worry, I am actually on the 6th string and not on the 5th string. So, 6th string, 5th fret, A. I'm going to play the 7th fret on the 5th string, which is E. Skipping a string, I'm going to the 3rd string, 6th fret, and this completes an A major arpeggio. So this first bar is based certainly on an A major harmony here. So I'm playing 3 notes on the 3rd string here. I'm going to do 6, which is the C sharp, down to B, and back to C sharp. So combine it with the first 2 notes. Get that. Then I'm going to roll E on the 5th fret, 2nd string, to A on the 5th fret, 1st string. So now you have this. Which is almost exclusively an A major arpeggio, with the exception of the additional B, which you could think of as a scale tone or a passing tone. But these notes almost complete an A bar chord, which I'm sure you're well familiar with. So it's almost an A bar chord with an additional note. Then I'm going to grab G sharp on the 2nd string, 9th fret, back to the A on the 1st string, 5th fret. Okay, 3 notes left. We've got 2nd string, 7th fret, F sharp, 3rd string, 6th fret, C sharp, back to E on the 2nd string, 5th fret. So bar 1. That particular bar sets the template for the next bar, which is almost identical in terms of the note structure. We're just changing what chord is being displayed here. Now we got a B minor. Okay, so we got 7th fret on the 6th string. I'm using my middle finger here. The first time we did this, I used my index finger, and everything kind of fell into place according to that. But I found that for this part, middle finger's the best choice for this one. That's going to lead me to use my pinky for the 9th fret on the 5th string for F sharp. That sets up my D, C sharp, D on the 3rd string, 7, 6, 7, to be done with my index and middle. So they finally come into play here. Then the next note is also in the 7th fret. Again, you have the option of rolling if you want, but for me personally, I find that changing fingers here, using my ring finger and getting the middle finger out of the way, is the best option for keeping things clean. Back to the 1st string, 5th fret for A. G sharp again, 9th fret, 2nd string. Back to the A. Finally, your last 3 notes of this particular chord, we're going back to the 7s. We're going back to 7 on the 2nd string with your ring, 7th fret, 3rd string middle, and back to the ring. Bar number 3, the E portion of it. Now you might notice something here. I've got a lot of notes going on here at the 9th fret, and I'm not using a roll here. Let me get to that in a sec. First note, 7th fret yet again on the 6th string, 1st finger. 11th fret on the 5th string, G sharp. On the 4th string, we're going to do 9, 7, 9. And then you can tell I'm using my middle, index, middle, which sets up actually the rest of this pretty nicely. You may be tempted to use the ring finger for this, but if you do, you have kind of no choice but to roll this next part, and it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be very pleasant for you. So try this. Index, pinky at 11 on the 5th string, middle, index, middle. Now here's the cool thing. The next 2 notes are all both at the 9th fret. So if you do this, you're going to be able to keep it quite clean once you get the hang of it. Maybe not right away, I should point that out. If you're not used to doing 3 consecutive notes across 3 consecutive strings at the exact same fret, without rolling, it might feel a bit awkward, and it might be a bit of a shit show, actually, to be quite honest with you. But if you work on it, you're going to be able to get it quite clean with minimal movement once you get the hang of the idea here. So. Once you get to the 2nd string, it will be your pinky. 7th fret, 2nd string will be your index. Back to the 9th fret pinky. But then this allows you to complete the other 9s. Here we got 9 on the 3rd, 9 on the 4th, back to 9 on the 3rd. It allows you to complete the concept with the non-roll. I don't know what else to call it. Consecutive finger idea here at the 9th fret. So here's this part slow. Okay, so far, first 3 bars. Bar 2. Bar 3. All right, and on to bar 4. Bar 4. I'm hearing as an F sharp 7 tonality with an additional B. I think that B that we start with, which really has nothing to do with an F sharp 7 chord at all, it's not in the chord. It just happens to be kind of the pedal tone note that's been used quite a bit so far. Here's how it goes. Middle finger, 7th fret, 6th string. 8th fret on the 4th string, A sharp. Now we've got 3rd string 6, 4th string 9, or C sharp and B. Like that. We're going to throw another note on the 3rd string, 9th fret, E, with your pinky. Then we got 1st string, 6, second string 9. That's going to give you A sharp again on the first string, and 9th fret on the second string will give you G sharp. Okay, add that to what you got so far and you have this. Finally, let's wrap it up with 3 more notes. Third string, we're going to do 9, 6, 9, or E, C sharp, E. And then we're going to land on D sharp on the third string, 8th fret, which is actually the first note of the next part, which is not part of this example. So here's everything. Have fun tackling these 3 excerpts from Bach's Partita number 3, and the tabs will be provided below for free in the description, so check it out and let me know how you make out.